remains. Wanna drink, liquor, smoke good weed, but I'm gonna need a Gatorade. Cause it is downstairs, tripping about the music and the loud we smoke. Sit down, 100 in the bottle, cause you better not switch, no. Live fast, enjoy every moment, cause just last year I was broke. Orange Gatorade, ain't my sobriety, while I'm giving out backstrokes. Round 1, round 2, round 3, no bull, you only get 2 piece, no bull, that's really all you want from me. Your girls at the door, please copy me. Thick thighs, fat butt, slim waist, little bit of teeth, but I'm on a boat face. Heard the kitty cat roar when I went deep, she wetter than a swimming pool when I'm 10 feet.
Deep inside, deep, deep down inside. Hey, good rising, nose checking in. You know who it is. Shout out to Kasim, Prince Rich. You know who it is.
I give it to her, guarantee I miss her life up. She said she want me to taste her with my big lips, but if I do it, she be begging me to wife up. Baby girl, I put it down. I'ma go extra. Fly boy, you don't want your girl to get next to. I'll put a finger in her butt right now. I bet you she be begging me to pluck right now. Yeah, I'm nasty. Yeah, I'm ready for whatever, whether day or night. I lay the pipe and when I lay it, I'ma lay it right. She'll be wanting to put my clothes in the closet. I don't need love, girl, I need a deposit. She wanna lick me like I'm ice cream. You know, strawberry, blonde, maybe walnut. She ain't as innocent as she might seem. As soon as we leave the club, I'ma call her.
I feel it. Good rising, big city, 101.3 FM. Waking up with TaylaAndre, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 7. We got Firearm Fred in the building. So as soon as Power Hour pop off, we gonna pop off. Pun intended. Today we're talking about Black Guns Matter. Today we are talking about everything as far as the Massachusetts license is concerned. If you come out this weekend, you finna get a free... Lord have mercy. But as far as news is concerned, Nigeria joins the African Union campaign to end child marriage. It only took to 2016. Nigeria announced plans to end early girl child marriages and other related harmful traditional practices. Speaking at a media briefing on Monday, Nigeria's Minister of Women Affairs and Social Development, Aisha Ahana, said that the country is set to launch a vigorous campaign to end child marriages. 15 out of 20 countries with the highest rates of child marriage in the world are in Africa. 15 African countries so far have launched the campaign to end child marriage. The countries are Ethiopia, Ghana, South Africa, Sierra Leone, Senegal, Niger, the Islamic Republic of Gambia, Malawi, Zimbabwe, Eritrea, Zambia, Chad, Burkina Faso. I have heard of that, and I did meet somebody from there. Mali, Madagascar. A number of African countries have recently introduced new legislation to end child marriages. In July, Gambia's president announced a new law with a mandatory 10-year jail term for any man who marries a girl underage. Tanzania and Ghana have also introduced new laws to protect young girls. And I don't know if you guys were listening yesterday, but Buenos Aires, which is South America, has recently put into law that you cannot catcall in public places. Period. Or other harmful, they just created their version of what we call sexual harassment. But public catcalling, sexual harassment, I feel like sexual harassment for us is more so in the workplace. And they're like, no sexual harassment at all in the country. And other news, that's kind of dope though. I'm glad that people are finally putting on for women and, talking about women. Black women's lifespan holds firm. We are holding firm. We don't die, we multiply, baby. And the CDC is saying, you know what? Evidence is perhaps the most compelling, while the life expectancy for everybody else in the community, in the country, is declined from last year. The black woman held hers down. Isn't it ironic? Don't you think, in my Alanis Morissette voice? White men, white women, and black men took a hit, according to the report last week by the Centers for Disease Control. As a result, the nation's overall life expectancy has declined, with black women being disproportionately overweight, overworked, overlooked, and underpaid. You'd think that they would be on the verge of extinction, but there's something about that melanin, baby, that make that black don't crack and that age stay ripe. So that wine ain't going nowhere no time soon. So our life expectancy is 78 years of life. And we're looking at the white man and the white woman and the black man, which is slowly declining. So we need to help our black men out the best that we can and pull them up so their numbers can be right up there with ours. I'd love to see a black man. Hey, Omar, shout out to Texas on Facebook Live. Sand Branch, Texas. Now that we're talking about Texas, a small community denied water for over 30 years finally fights back. So Sand Branch, Texas is a small unincorporated community in Dallas County, has been fighting for over 30 years to have access to clean running water. But between mitigations and Federal Emergency Management Agency, aka FEMA, and Dallas County officials, the community continues to go without this most basic and critical of human rights. This is not in Africa, baby. This isn't somewhere in a third world country. This isn't in Haiti after the earthquake. This is in Texas, in the United States of America. For 30 years, these people have been fighting for water. And you think for 5 seconds Flint, Michigan about to get their pipelines popping? If I say popping anytime today, it only has to do with the gun reference of getting your LTC this weekend. The Sand Branch is located 14 miles southeast of Dallas. Southeast. What's 14 miles southeast of Massachusetts? 14. Is that like Stoughton?
You like Stoughton?
Stoughton, Canton. Could you imagine Stoughton, Canton not having any water? We've been dying for water for 30 years. I pump water out of my well. Like, could you, 14 miles? The fifth wealthiest city in the United States of America, established in 1878 by Reverend Allen Hawthorne, a formerly enslaved black man from Louisiana, along with 11 other freedmen. The community grew about like a beating heart around the Mount Zion Baptist Church. Shout out to Mount Zion. That's the church I attended as a child in Alabama. Mount Zion Baptist Church. The church continues to be the core of the tight-knit community to this very day. At its peak, Sand Branch population numbered approximately 500 people, but today is only around 8 people remaining, and of course loving and supporting each other through the humanitarian crisis that exists beneath the radar of most people in the United States, according to reports. In 2014, the Hunger Center of North Texas, 87% of Sand Branch residents are black, 10% are Latinx. So people are no longer Latino, they're Latinx, and 3% were white. The average age in Sand Branch is 68 years old. All residents live below the federal poverty threshold, with the average income for the lifelong resident holding at $721 a month. That is $1,426 for the long-time residents a month. Sand Branch is also a food desert, which means residents, many without transportation, must find way to travel more than 7 miles to the nearest grocery store. You might as well take yourself to Dallas. 7 miles? 7 miles inward. Fred, what is that? So if we're in Canton, Stoughton with no water, we have to travel 7 miles for fresh fruit. That would be Randolph? Or even in the city. Raise and education. What's that mean, Omar? 617-282-0062. Dallas County officials claim bacteria from hogs and other livestock is the reason for the contamination, and they've killed off the farm animals in unsuccessful attempts to solve the problem. However, the residents lay their blame fully on the Southside wastewater treatment plant and high-tech, state-of-the-art water treatment facility approximately 50 feet away from Sand Branch. If you speak to the residents of the community, they will tell you that they have always had their hogs, and the hogs didn't do anything to the water. It is the actual plant itself. And now that all the hogs have been killed off, all the livestock has been killed, they don't have any form of food. So, with that being said, there is a video that I posted on the Wake Up with TaylaAndre page. Please view it. It's the community of Sand Branch speaking out against the injustices that they're currently dealing with and have dealt with for the last 30 years. And they don't consider themselves poor. Now, they said, there's a gentleman in the video that says, I'm not rich by any means, but I don't consider myself poor. I have everything that I need. I can't tell you how many Bostonians or even Americans really have that ideology. I want to give a huge, that's a chica. Bostonians of the year 2016, according to Globe magazine, are Kylie Webster and Maggie Noel, the student activist who shook up Boston Latin and put race relations back on Boston's list of priorities. Shout out to those babies. Bigger than my block. Congratulations to Kylie Webster, Maggie Noel, and the Black at BLS tribe. The Black leaders aspiring for change and knowledge, for your commitment, for changing our community, changing the game. Be big, be bold, be beautiful. I'm so proud of these babies. They are high school students that are Bostonians of the year. Y'all know Black at BLS. Y'all know who they are. And we have a wonderful interview on, I believe it's on YouTube. I don't think it's on Mixcloud. A beautiful interview with Maggie and with Miss Noel, and I'm excited for them. I'm really excited because if you're able to change the game in high school, can you imagine what the trajectory of their life is set on? You better break down them doors, shut down them barriers. In other news, legendary international jewel thief strikes again, Doris Diamond Payne. So what is so ironic about this story is I watched a documentary on Netflix about Doris Payne, and she was talking about in her heyday how many jewels she stole, how many furs she's had, and she was living a good life. And she basically said that she was a chameleon in disguise. She could, attach herself to any culture. And back in the day, my baby's 86. She's 86, so she's been in the game for a long time. Doris Diamond Payne, please go watch the documentary. You will learn something. She is arrested for stealing a $2,000 necklace after 60 years as a notorious con artist. Doris Payne is 86 years old. She has a criminal record as a jewel thief spanning 60 years. At the height of her career, she was wanted in 2 separate continents. While in jail a decade ago, she swore she was done with her life of crime. This is during the time that she did her documentary. She was talking about how money was low and how she was it was tempting for her. She's been accused many a times for stealing and has never gotten caught. And in the documentary, she prides herself that, baby, they didn't catch me though. When she was caught stealing the $1,995 diamond necklace from a department store. She has now been jailed, and she has been jailed in the past in several states, and claims to have shoplifted jewelry from New York to Monaco. That baby is no joke. She really, the story was featured in the 2013 documentary, The Life and Crimes of Doris Payne. When asked about her exploits this year, she said simply, I was a thief. I was a thief. You want me to say? Shout out to Doris Payne. I know that's not anything to be highlighting or something to be proud of, but I just connected with that story because I've watched the documentary a couple times. I found it, I don't know, I thought it was dope how she described how she became this world acclaimed jewel thief. My baby has a documentary for being a jewel thief, for crying out loud. Shout out to Doris Payne. Couple creates clearance clause. Not Santa Claus, but clearance clause. You know what that means, right? Fred, what do you suspect clearance clause is?
Somebody clearing things out. Somebody stealing something?
No, ain't nobody stealing something, but that would be a great segue from Doris Payne. A couple creates clearance clause wrapping paper because they couldn't find any with black Santa Claus. I'm trying to tell you, there's money out here, B. There's money out here, son. Whatever it is in your little heart, I don't know who I'm talking to, but you feel like there is something missing. There is something missing that Thomas Clarence is. It's Clarence Thomas, baby. The Supreme Court Justice is Clarence Thomas. But if you feel like something is missing, if you feel like you can create something that people need, this is wrapping paper. These babies about to be millionaires off of wrapping paper with a black face on it. Wrapping paper, because they couldn't find any wrapping paper with a black Santa Claus, they created paper with a black Santa Claus. Do you know how sold out this is going to be? If not this Christmas, next Christmas. Genius. Genius. You know how much money that is? For something so simple. If you think you have something that you can create, that is simple for you to create, that you believe that you'll be able to profit off of, please. If everybody else told you that idea was stupid, that you were wasting your time, I'm telling you right here, right now, you should do it. You should do it. I believe in you. It wasn't put in your heart for no reason. What the tattoo say, a man's heart plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps. You don't need to know the how, baby. You just need to know the why. And the why is because there were no black Santa Clauses. North Carolina mom Jackie Rogers, 32 years old, couldn't find any wrapping paper with a black Santa on it last year, so she decided to make her own. Rogers and her husband Sean have since started their own wrapping paper company called Green Top Gifts to fill this void in the market. They sell a roll of clearance clause wrapping paper for $7.50 and are looking into branching out into other products. Clearance clause. You can't tell me that you don't feel some type of way like, damn, I thought about that before. How many times have you seen, hold on, I'm not even going front. How many times those ads seen on TVs, right? Those ads seen on TVs. I think I really created the one where your phone always fall down next to the chair. I was like, you know what? I should create something. And then it was on as seen on TV. The little like cushion that goes in between your car seat and the armrest. $9.99 plus shipping and handling. I could have been paid. If you have an idea, baby, do it. In other news, really quickly, because I want to make sure we talk about getting your LTC. Why don't men have penis bones anymore? You saw it? Science said that men can blame the fact that they have to have sex with one woman for the rest of their life is the reason why men don't have a penis bone or baculum. It has been described as the most diverse bone. The baculum first evolved in mammals between 145 and 95 million years ago. Men no longer have a penis bone as they tend to be in a singular relationship their entire life and don't need to compete for a partner, so they don't need a penis bone. I didn't even know other animals had penis bones. Dogs have a penis bone? Hold on. How? That little red thing that come out? There's a bone in it? I thought all men oh, that is true. All men do have, like, blood that circulates. But I thought all animals, it was the blood that made it hard.
No. A lot of animals got this one. You know, that's where the term boner came from.
Firearm Fred said that's where the term boner came from. Because you had a penis that was hard as a... Now you know knowing's half the battle. I know I played some Freaky Friday music, but I just wanted to get y'all ready for tomorrow, because tomorrow is actually Freaky Friday. I think I stole Freaky Friday from you for a good month. We ain't had no real Freaky Friday in a month. Tomorrow it is, so we setting the tone for your boner. You no longer have a boner, because we no longer have bones in your penises. Now you know knowing's half the battle. Did you know about that prior? I'll go ahead and post it so you can read about it. Facebook, WhatsApp, and Skype are hit by strict European Union privacy rules that could threaten the entire internet. Y'all better start paying attention to what's going on overseas. And I tell you this all the time. It's not about what happens in your backyard. It's about what happens across the street. Because if it affects your neighbors, it's going to affect you. The European Union privacy crackdown was revealed in e-privacy overhaul document leak. The rules indicate how services track people online to target advertising at users. AKA, have you ever searched anything, wide calf boots, and all of a sudden, all of your ads around whatever page you're on, whether it's your phone, whether it's your tablet, or whether it's your computer. If you search, for instance, TaylaAndre's t-shirts, and now all of a sudden all of your ads are TaylaAndre t-shirt centered. If you search Firearm Fred LTC, now all of your ads are going to be Firearm Fred LTC, and if you don't start clicking on those, they start popping up other people's LTCs. If you don't start clicking on TaylaAndre t-shirts, they start giving you other t-shirts. Like, maybe they don't like TaylaAndre t-shirts. Maybe we want to try a Firearm Fred t-shirt. Like, they'll try and get you. So the rules indicate how services track people online to target advertising at users. The industry feels that the new rules could damage their entire business model. Silicon Valley groups have been under fire from Brussels this year for what they've done. And they're saying, listen, you can't do that. You can't crack into people's habits in order to sell them. It doesn't work like that. You can. Well, you can, but not here. The new rules are part of the European Union's overhaul of the e-privacy directive, which oversees everything from marketing emails to online tracking. One of the new rules would force websites and browsers to ask for users' consent before directing advertising at them based on their browser history. I'm trying to tell you, that's why that porn popping up, and you like, damn, how I get that off? You should have went incognito, bro. And for those who don't know, if you search things, I use Chrome, and Chrome has like an incognito, so once you close it, you're not going to see ads from whenever you search. You're not going to see, that's for the porn you're trying to hide for the kids. Go incognito. Users currently have to actively opt out of receiving such advertisements instead of having to opt in, and usually don't even know that they're opt in to even have the mindset to opt out. The EU will also bring in a rule to tighten regulations on online messaging, calls, or over-the-top services. The EU executive plans to extend rules that currently only apply to telecom operators to web companies offering calls and messages using the internet. Telecom firms have long complained that companies such as Google, Microsoft, and Facebook are more lightly regulated despite offering similar services. Somebody mad. But
you know, it ain't been doing that for years, though. You know?
Yeah, it has been done for years. That's why Snowden on a run right now.
You know, like if you look up hotels, right? Hotels are allowed to track your computer.
Hotels are allowed to track your computer.
For the next 3 searches.
For the next 3 searches?
That's what they got.
Wait, hold on. Where you find that at? Hotels track your searches. Do hotels track internet usage? USA Today, how avoiding snooping on hotel Wi-Fi and other public networks, how hotel traffic can be sniffed, what your hotel knows about you. Lord of mercy. That's crazy.
Yeah, I used to work in a hotel in the front office.
That's insane.
And they used to, when we was in a meeting, they said, if you look at a hotel,
if you don't put this thing on your lip, knowing damn well can't nobody hear you.
if you look up something, they track that joint.
So we already know that they've been tracking us. We know that that's no secret. Snowden came out and told us. WikiLeaks came out and told us. And then both of those are under fire and almost dead for snitching. But it is what it is. It is Power Hour, Waking Up with TaylaAndre, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 7. Really quickly, I want to remind you that we are going to where? We are going to DR. We are going to... Oh, you don't know? Oh, you don't know? Y'all coming. You coming, Firearm Fred?
That's one of my favorite places. I just came back not in the summer, so I'll definitely run back there.
So, TaylaAndre does a cruise, and this year we are going to Dominican Republic, the Bahamas, Half Moon Cay, and Turks and Caicos. You can start paying now, even though we're not leaving until October 8th, out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. You need no passport to go to DR. You need no passport to go to DR. Hold on, I don't think you heard me. You don't need a passport to go on this cruise so you can go to DR, so you can go to the Bahamas, so you can go to Turks and Caicos, and so you can go to Half Moon Cay. You do not need a passport. And you can pay monthly, weekly for your ticket to go to DR, Bahamas, Half Moon Cay, Turks and Caicos. Because if you're flying, you need a passport. If you're on the sea, you don't need a passport. So if you want to come, please hit me up. It's on the Facebook. It's on the Instagram. It's on the Twitter. And it soon will be on the TaylaAndre.com, which is currently being updated. I'm really excited about that. Don't forget Faith's Naturals, Faith with an S, Naturals with an S, Beauty.com for all of your beauty needs, from your shampoo to your conditioner to your curl creams. Now, I'm in the process of revitalizing my curls and bringing back my natural bounce, and it takes time, baby. It takes time, but I've been using my sage oil so I could get my hair growing back. Thank you, Faith, for all that you do. She's located at 66A South Street, right down the street from Forest Hills. Or you can visit her online, Faith with an S, Naturals with an S, Beauty.com. Don't forget, myself as well as DJ Amaro will be at ZC Boston and many others for their birthday celebration, a.k.a. Bad Santa, Prime Saturdays at ZC Boston. And they actually have a bottle price list. A bottle price list. So come out and spend ridiculous amounts on money of bottles. I'm joking, you better not spend your damn money on a bottle that you could have bought down the street for $5. I know, I'm sorry, Amaro. I can't coon it out here. I can't do it. This tomorrow in Springfield, Black Guns Matter will be in Springfield tomorrow and will be in Boston on Saturday. Currently, we have Maj on the line of Black Guns Matter. He is a Second Amendment advocate of firearms education and information for urban communities. He will be in Massachusetts tomorrow in Springfield and then in Boston on Saturday. And if you know somebody who wants to be a part of the conversation as far as legislation in the city of Boston is concerned, you know the rules, you know the laws, you know our restrictions. If you want to be a part of that conversation, please inbox me so I can, it's invite only, and I want you to be a part of that conversation, but I want to make sure you got that clearance first. So go ahead and inbox me, and we'll talk about how you can be a part of the conversation when it comes to the legislation here in Boston around our Second Amendment rights. Good morning, Maj. Oh, did I really? Somebody come hit me. Good rising, Maj. How are you?
That was a good catch.
I know. I'm so disappointed in thyself. But it's been a while. It's been a long while since that word came out of my mouth. Peace. Peace to Beer Bay.
That's all good. We don't make mistakes. What's going on?
Nothing much. So I wanted to make sure that we had you as well as Firearm Fred in the building, considering we have Massachusetts laws that you may not be 100% familiar with. So good rising to you, Firearm Fred.
Good rising, good rising.
And good rising again to you, Maj. I am really excited to have this conversation. I'm really excited that you are coming to Boston. First, you'll be in Springfield. Why exactly are you coming into the city?
To create trouble for your current political situation, and by informing the hood that they're trying to steal their Second Amendment rights. So Massachusetts has the most set of complicated, convoluted firearm and gun restriction in the country. Everybody seems to think it's California, but it's actually not. It's Massachusetts. Massachusetts is also the birthplace of all of that racist gun control, all of it. So that's why we're coming there, because it's very important. And it's time. The hood, we passed the point of being, left out of the conversation or deliberately misinformed. So that's why we did. We come in here to just inform people and put them on that path so they can continue their training and things like, with guys like Firearm Fred and stay on that path and, widen the path a bit.
So you know a little bit more history than I do. Can you tell us a little bit about Massachusetts' strict gun laws and where they came from?
Well, all of them, all gun control comes from emancipation. Let me be clear about that, first and foremost. Emancipation meaning, people of African descent, that were enslaved in America. Once we fought for our liberation, there were sets of rules that came up about to stop newly freed African people from, African Americans, whichever label, you choose, from defending themselves. So a lot of the things that, we use as tools of liberation, the laws came about, and slowly over time, they contradicted some of the constitutional laws they created for, themselves, because they had these different things. Now, the funny thing about places like Mass is, Mass is known for, rebellion and revolutions and, Tea Party and all these different things. But this is where we come into spaces where there's blatant contradictions. This is where some of the myths of, the 3/5 clause and this, that, and the third, that wasn't initially meant to mean for black people. Now, on paper, that's not true. But mentally, absolutely it was true. So places like Mass that truly understood revolution and overturning, tyranny and things like that, in essence, they created laws on a state level that, emulated some of those same things. And we're going to go into all of that in Springfield and in Boston. Not all of it, obviously, because it's bigger than one class, but you get what I mean.
I do get it. So that's a whole lot. Really quickly, we do have a message on Facebook. Sabir Bey, shout out to Sabir Bey, said those are the black codes from the 1700s. Raheem said Cambridge is the hardest city in the state to get an LTC. I almost had a lawsuit against the Cambridge Police Department for them wanting to deny me because of the past of my brothers. Wow.
Yep, Massachusetts, and the beauty, I call it a beautiful ugly, something that's done really, really in sync and smooth, but the intent is really bad. The beautiful ugly about that is Mass does a great job of passing the buck off to California. Maybe because California is such a big state and it's the 8th largest economy in the world, whatever the reason is, it makes it look as if Mass hasn't done and continued to do all these things. The Attorney General over there, the young, whatever her name is, I forget, but she...
Mara Haley. We know about Mara Haley. You better say something about Mara. She ain't getting reelected, I know that much.
Now here's the funny thing. I try not to say people's names that I don't really like because of their policy, just because I don't want to give them no energy, but you did, and that's exactly who I'm talking about. She's just taking it upon herself to, in so many words, redefine what the Founding Fathers meant, in regards to the Second Amendment. I'm pretty sure among other things, but that's the reason why we come to Mass. They do a very good job of making it, passing the buck or making it look like, people from those environments shouldn't be aware, shouldn't have the right to defend themselves, and making it look like, it's just California and New York. No, it's not. Mass is horrible for gun control, convoluted laws that do not serve the people, that don't respect safety, that aren't helping curb crime, and, me and Fred are going to be there to address that and, put people on that path. But they, again, after we leave, they have to consistently get with guys like Fred, women like, Fred, and instructors, trainers, and continue to learn and become politically
advocate sometimes. So let me play devil's advocate, because we recently, I believe, I read on Monday and Tuesday that our numbers are, 53 homicides in 2016. So what if I say to you, Maj, well, Massachusetts and Boston have these strict laws for a reason. We have 53 people dead in 2016, 56 last year, no telling 2014, 2013. Like, there's gun laws for a reason to, in the words of Commissioner Evans, you have the police to protect you. What do you need your gun for?
Well, two things I would say to that. One, I would say Hitler said the same thing. Hitler said the same thing. Anytime you de-arm a population, there's a roundup happening. Historically, you can talk about it. I mean, everybody should Google it, because one, if I say it, it'll sound like I'm playing a stat game or just saying talking points to make everybody go, oh my God, you should go get a gun. So everybody should look not only for national massacres that were led with the population or the people being de-armed first in America. They should look about those things around the world. Around the world, there's millions and millions and millions of people that were murdered and slaughtered and rounded up not long after the government said, we have the guns, we'll protect you. That's number one. The first thing I say. The second thing I say is the police are not in any way, shape, or form obligated to protect you. That is a Supreme Court decision. They are, by law, not obligated to protect you. You should also Google that, because I could be the gun guy that's just saying it to you. And I might be biased, but you aren't if you're listening. So you should look that up. The police legally have no obligation to protect you. The third thing that I'd say to that person that may say that is, you have fire extinguishers in your house. If a fire breaks out, you go get the fire extinguisher and you handle it. There's also the fire department. So saying that you should give your firearm away is the equivalent of saying we should take our fire extinguishers out the house because the fire department comes if there's a fire. That sounds oversimplified and ridiculous, because that's exactly what that argument that people might say is. It's oversimplified and it's extremely ridiculous. And the last thing that I say to those people would be, so what? That's great that Massachusetts has a low murder rate. That's excellent. That's beautiful. You do not get to make blanket statements and remove people's human rights and their civil
call
liberties.
617-282-0062.
American or human birthright to defend themselves just because you had a good stretch of low homicides for a year. It don't work that way. Our job is to maintain, be responsible for our communities, as well as be responsible for our human rights via our, Bill of Rights and the Constitution and things of that nature. So I say, great, that's a great thing. But I'm pretty sure there's other factors that go along with that as well as. And if not, that's great. Now we got to figure out how we can keep those numbers low, as well as keeping people's individual and collective freedoms high.
Well, I want my intellectual freedoms on the utmost high. Fred, is there anything you want to chime in on as far as Massachusetts is concerned, as far as the history that he's hitting on is concerned, or anything that you want to speak on as far as this Saturday, people coming out to the Lower Mill Lodge, located in Lower Mills on Washington Street?
Well, see, he touched on a bunch of great points, and I sometimes when I teach, I jump on my soapbox and do the same thing. And also, what he also has, and I like to tell people, is that a lot of these gun restrictions went in effect along with our past Attorney General that was trying to run for political office, and they did these things to boost their own careers, and nobody never did anything or said anything about it. And as the gun community grew, nobody never went back and tried to revise these things. And guns have always been a taboo thing. So we have to get off that whole gun taboo, ooh, guns are bad, and know the facts and realities about guns.
Ooh, is that what you just said? Ooh. So, why Taj, Maj, and Fred, I have a question, like, why or when did guns become taboo? Why and when do we believe, Are we so afraid of guns? We don't want guns in the house because of the children. But yet, with no racism, just facts, white people take their 7-year-old, Sally, you finna get this gun, Sally. Sally don't even want a gun. But you finna get this gun, you're gonna learn how to shoot. This is what we do in the family. But black folks are like, listen, I don't want no gun in this house. I don't care if you have an LTC. It's not happening. We'll call the police. There's no need for us to have firearms in the house. Where did this ideology come from when our counters are just like, Sally finna get a gun? She just turned 6.
Let him touch on that, because he actually, I heard he had a great thing online about that.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Maj.
It's just marketed different. I mean, it's designed in a way where, civics, it's a holistic thing. The ignorance that we in right now in the hood is based on a holistic attack. We've been, and I'm talking about black people, white people, if you live in the hood especially, you have been designed to be weaker. You from your food to your which I heard you just talking about the phone conversation, all this other stuff. Civics is not taught in urban schools because civics involves and tells you, oh wait, so it's we the people. Is the government supposed to do what we tell them to do? And the government actually, the founding fathers was in the opposition to a different government. They was being persecuted, and so they shot them. You can't tell people in the hood that, and then give them information because then you have to respect the hood. You got to respect those people as opposed to using them as batteries. So it was marketed different. And again,
hold on, Maj. I don't mean to cut you off, but I do have to bring into conversation the fact that we touched on this just yesterday, about the people being a battery for the systems and how in the Matrix, Morpheus talks about this right here is the reason why they're after you, because the battery. So the fact that you just use that, everything happens in perfect alliance with what it's like. I thank you for that. There are no coincidences in life
at all. And so because of that, batteries can't have guns. So we want you to be able to defend. First, you can't even be aware that you're a battery. Second, if you are aware, now you're going to get up and start doing stuff. Now you have a different value system. Now you have to defend that value system. So that's the reason why the urban population is marketed to that way, because urban populations have high populations, dense populations. After like the 10th city, the population city to city in America drops. So it's not about gun control, it's about, people control. I say this all of the time. So in order to control like large amounts of people, you have to A, convince them that guns are taboo. B, you have to convince them to not be on top of their civics and the history of what happened in America, black and white people, and Asian people, Spanish people, everybody. And you have to also, the key to that and making them think that firearms are bad is because if they start thinking about firearms and technical components and history and all these different things, knowledge spreads. So you go from learning about a gun to learning about social upheaval, to learning about defending yourself, to learning about defending your family, to learning about, again, civics. So it has to be marketed different in the hood. It has to be, because then you can't control the 8 million people or 7 million people in New York City if they all are responsible, legally armed firearm owners. You can't tell them what to do now, because we actually tell you what to do now. We the people, which is how the actual Constitution and this country was designed and how it's supposed to be. The reason why it's a system of checks and balances. And firearms is what allows you as the people to put something to keep your government in check and maintain something behind them words.
All right, Sabia, hold on one moment. We have 2 callers on the line. I just want to recognize our callers and see what they're talking about. 617-282-0062, 617-282-0062. We have Firearm Fred in the building. We're on the line with Maj from Black Guns Matter. This weekend we're having an event. Friday, tomorrow, they will be in Springfield talking about Black Guns Matter. And you can and will receive your certificate to go out there and learn how to shoot so you can get your LTC. And then on Saturday, you can come out in Boston, learn how to shoot so you can get your LTC, but you will at least be able to start the process of having your certificate. But baby, you need to get in the range and learn how to shoot that thing. You can't just get a gun and get your license. You will have your certificate, but you guys have to link up with these trainers and train so you can go get your LTC. Good rising, caller, you're live. Sabir Bay, can you hear me?
Yo, what's going on?
What's going on, Sabir? Talk to me.
Listen, I must love you because I just laid down, seriously, because I got to catch a flight at 6 o'clock. So I said, you said call. I said, let me call my sister. I said, let me give her a call. But what's going on with you? I hear my brother Maj on there, huh?
He's here.
What's up, Sabir? How you? What's cracking, homie? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's going on, man? I ain't seen you in a minute, man. Where you been at? You been all over the place.
Bro, I'm on the West Coast now, man.
I wish I'd have known you was out there, man. I was over there last week, man.
Hold up. Are y'all linking up right now, or we talking about guns real quick?
We're going to talk about guns. Real quick. You know what? I used to want to be an advocate for that because I was shot many times. And, you know, I study law, and Brother Maj knows that. One thing I want to share with people, you have to study the black codes. You have to study. I'm sitting here looking at this book called The American Bar Foundation. And it talks about your state heavy, real heavy. But what happened is they created a law called the Black Codes, and I tell people to look it up. None of our people, so-called blacks, didn't have Second Amendment rights. They had it granted privilege. They didn't have a right, but they could give and take at the whim. It was always based on Europeans having guns. But you have to study the black codes in every state. They have them. So blacks was not supposed to have no guns, no bats, no knives. None of that stuff. So when people talk about the Constitution, when it doesn't even apply to so-called black people at all, when you really read it. The only thing that applies to black people was really the 14th Amendment, which was dealing with federal citizenship, which was giving you a privilege. And that's one thing people have to study. We boast and talk about the Constitution, but we have to really get into it to really understand why and how these things are happening. Like, again, I'm with the gun control. I'm with the gun, but control your gun. You see what I'm saying? I'm with it. I would never tell somebody to give up their gun, especially coming from where I come from in Philly. So, I mean, again, man, I'm not, I just want people to do that. Just study these laws, man, and find out why we was restricted from having them. And it's still like that on the books today. I just found out, I think it was North Carolina, just recently stopped the miscegenation laws. I think it was about 2-3 years ago.
Damn.
I didn't know that. So stuff is still on the books for our people.
And really quickly, Sabir, for those who don't know what that means, what does that mean in South Carolina?
Which one? Well, with the miscegenation?
Yes, sir.
It was interracial relationship between Negroes and, I'm going to say white, because I don't like that term, but between Negroes and white people. The miscegenation, you can go online and look it up. They had a movie coming out now. What is it called? Love You?
Call
I
back.
think that's the movie. But really, that's the case.
Omar, call back.
So all this stuff is still in effect to this day. And we thinking that it's past, and no, it's still in effect right now. So that's all they got to do, look up the miscegenation law. And I tell everybody, every time I'm on a show, get a law dictionary and look up.
Black Laws Dictionary. I bought mine.
For yourself.
I got my Black Laws Dictionary. When I tell you I paid $35 for that book, these books are out here. The knowledge is out here. You just have to pay for it. And if y'all willing to go to ZC Boston, pay $300 for a bottle of liquor, then you could have got it at the store for $75, but you won't sit here and spend $35, $50 on a book.
No, you have to. I mean, I just gave Yasin Bey one last night. I was with him yesterday. I just gave him a law dictionary. He never had it. I said, yo, brother, you got to take this with you. Carry it with you so you can understand what's going on. Everybody should have it. And like it's a Bible. You have a Bible in the bedroom, Bible in the den. You should have a law dictionary everywhere also. Period. So when you hear stuff come across, you say, let me take time out. Let me find out what they're talking about. Okay, I got it. So that's all I really want to share with you, Tayla. And Maj, man, let's get up, brother. But I got to get up early in the morning to jump on this plane in the morning. So I got to get up.
Taylor, I'm coming back over there in a little bit. So DM me, and then we're going to reach out after that.
Yeah, I'm going to be in Boston I'm going to be in Texas for 2 weeks. I'll be in Boston for 2 weeks. So I'm leaving I'll be going for a while. But get at me, man.
The Black Laws Dictionary.
I'm going to Texas, because I got 2 classes coming up.
You see this.
Maybe we can do something together. Maybe you can bring that to the Black Lives Matter course down in Texas. That'd be nice too.
Yes, sir. That's what I'll be. But Taylor, I love you.
I love you, Sabir. We'll make sure we have Sabir Bear Bay. When he's back in Boston, we'll have him on the line to give us some of his knowledge. We love what you do, Sabir. Stay safe and peace.
Yeah, thanks, man. I'll see you when I get there. Peace.
Maj, I didn't know you were connected to everybody. I see you, though. I see you.
Yeah, I've known Sabir for years. I mean, he's from Philly, so you know that's like and if that don't certify, because I'm hearing a lot of funny stuff. If that don't, and it's all on social media though. If people, he's the feds, I'm like, man, if you don't get out of here, my hood stamp is certified in my town at least. I don't know about nobody else, but I know about it. I can't with these online trolls. It's the funniest thing ever.
It is. You're not the only one. Even Fred gets them sometimes. So we know about that life, unfortunately. But it's all about the positivity. With Exile Doom, you guys heard what I played earlier today. We're not going to focus on the negativity. We're walking into 2017 with nothing but positivity. We currently have another caller on the line. I believe this is Omar from Texas. Good rising, Omar. How you feeling?
Good morning. I think one thing when you talk about guns and people of African American descent owning guns, we also have to look at the psychological state of what was left over from a slavery mentality in the sense of turning and forgive and forget. When you consider that, you know, most people that I talk to always say, well, we don't need them, we're going to pray about it. Or, you know, that happened then, it's not going to happen to us now. And it gives them this false sense of security.
Naima, you hear your husband?
Different things like that. And one thing I always tell people, you know, yes, in certain cities where they do have strict gun control, you do see a lower numbers in quote-unquote gun violence. But look at the other statistics of rape, home invasions, and different things like that. They have a much higher rate. So it's not just gun violence, in my opinion, that one should look at and consider protecting themselves. There's a lot of other facets, you know, especially out in the public and different things like that with a lot of the mass shootings and things of that nature. And then, like I said, just your normal everyday thing that I encourage people to look beyond just what's on the surface of the statistics they present to you. Think about it as a whole, because it's your job as an individual to protect yourself and your family as a whole. And in most cities, such as Philadelphia, where I'm originally from, you know, I can tell the statistics, it's only about 6,000 cops to a few million people. It's no way the police can protect everybody, so I always encourage individuals to protect yourself and rely on self-preservation and relying on others to protect you.
Thank you. Philly is heavy in the building this rising. How are you feeling? For those who don't know, really quick plug, please hit up Omar Jackson. He is the plug when it comes to your investment in gold, your investment in silver. Please, he's on Facebook as Omar Jackson. That is the plug, so please hit him up. Thank you. Peace and blessing, Omar. Love you. Love Naima. Hope you guys have an amazing day today.
Blessings to you too, but I'm going to get my day started. Y'all have a wonderful day.
You as well. Is there anything that you want to add to that, Maj, before we take this third caller?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that you got to make sure that you, like the brother said, stand on point and understand the holistic approach of what was actually done. I mean, all it really takes is one trauma for somebody to be, you know, traumatized. You know, people, especially in urban environments, have had trauma upon trauma upon trauma upon trauma.
Trauma in the village.
We don't suffer from, you know, PTSD or whatever that is, you know, to the highest order. You can't, and you have to factor that into, you know, on some Stockholm syndrome. Well, I shouldn't want to defend myself from these people have offended me, but I'm going to pray about it. Praying is not working. I mean, prayer may work for your spiritual sciences individually, but collectively, prayer has not gotten us out of an economic, physical, or financial bind. You got to do work, you know, and you have to be aware, like what Sabir was saying, you have to be aware what the laws is, as well as you have to force change. And I don't care what somebody created something for me. I'm taking what's around now. So from what them last two callers said, I would encourage everybody to apply all of that information, know the laws, and at the same time, heal yourself while applying, you know, all of that information to self, regardless of what somebody else thought you were worthy of.
I want to give a shout out to the caller that's currently on the line. Please bear with me. Thank you for your patience. You mentioned something about PTSD, and Fred, I'd like for both of you to tag team this as far as mental health is concerned. Because right now it looks like a slippery slope as far as the government saying, well, we need to take a look at this, people's mental health prior to us giving them, their gun license. And on both sides of the fence, I understand. You just don't give somebody with mental health issues a gun, but I do understand that we have people that have suffered traumas in our community just off of living life, people that have suffered PTSD, like, this is known. And if you want to take it a step further, Dr. Joy DeGruy, we all suffer from post-traumatic slavery system. So we all have these mental issues, and, our little black boys and girls in public school systems are being, I don't want to say forced, but their parents' hands are being forced to say, your child can't sit in my classroom for 10 hours. Let's go ahead and put them on ADD pills. And then your child now has a mental health case. So as far as the slippery slope of mental health and gun control, where do you see that now, and where do you see that in the future?
I mean, if Fred want to jump in and handle this one, because he's around it, that all the time. If you want to.
All right. So what it is it is a slippery slope. You got to be very careful with it, because if you're hospitalized for any mental health issues, they have to deny you. They have to. It's on the application. They have to deny you. But if you go see a shrink for something, you had a trauma or something like that, that's not something they can deny you for. But if you're hospitalized, they're going to deny you.
Define hospitalized.
When they take you to a hospital, when the best team comes and gets you, and they put them handcuffs, them rubber handcuffs on you, and you have to stay in, and the doctor says, we can force sanction you here, that goes on record.
So a man who, let's say, for instance, a man who recently was denied all type of access to his children, was hurt, and, drank himself, quote unquote, to death. They had to come get him. They said he's mentally unstable, he's erratic, we can't control him, and we're going to put him in this padded room for 72 hours.
So, if he's under the influence, that's a whole different...
Okay.
That's a whole different thing. He's not mentally unstable, he's just under the influence.
Okay.
But if he's mentally unstable, like he's having a mental breakdown...
Postpartum depression, where you have to be hospitalized.
You don't have to be hospitalized for postpartum depression.
Well, there's levels to that.
I'm talking about the mental break, when people have a mentally broke. I've seen it and witnessed it. People just
psychotic breakdown.
If you have a psychotic breakdown, and they're gonna take you in, they're gonna drug you up. They're gonna bring you back. They're probably gonna keep you on, drugs for forever, and
that's when
you're gonna be denied.
Wow.
That's just how the system is.
So what about these young boys that are currently on, all of these medications in order to sit down and behave like little good students, and then at the age of 18, he is no longer taking these drugs, and as we know, side effects are, you might want to try and commit suicide. And, he stops taking the drug, and that side effect is you might try and commit suicide.
That's one of the things.
Again, slippery slope. It's not clear.
Well, the law is not clear anyway about that, but it is clear that if you're hospitalized. But when they start taking these, like they're taking like Adderall and all this other stuff, and then they stop, and then they become, they freak out. It's designed, these drugs are designed anyway to keep you hooked on. So once you get on those drugs, then they're not going to let you off of them. And if you do get off of them and you have a psychotic break, they got you.
Damn. So I feel like that's a setup for failure. What about, okay, let's say, for instance, my brother's coming back, serving the country, they're vets, but they're suffering some serious PTSD, and they're on medication, but they are more highly skilled than me, you, or anybody else out here getting their LTC. But yet, because they went to fight for their country, they now have all type of psychotic breaks can they no longer have their license?
It's a slippery slope, and sometimes, in some cases, no.
Wow. Maj, you want to touch on that?
The game is designed to make sure that people over time, they're not moving in 1 or 2 year waves. Things you mentioned about giving the young people the medications, the drugs, then getting them hooked on it. Then after a while, they have a mental issue because those side effects are real. Now that blocks them. Everything is holistic. The attack on the people is from every area of human activity. Over time, over 10, 20, 30, 40, 50-year period thinking blocks. There are think tanks that sit around and design ways to how to control and destroy certain levels of population, especially in the urban environment. It is not an accident. This is synchronicity. The sun, quote unquote, rises at the same time depending on where you at on Earth. That's a highly organized phenomenon. That ain't no accident. It's the same thing with any other type of system, whether it's positive or negative. And there are large portions of this system designed by small amounts of very megalomaniacal people that want to maintain a lion's share of the resources for themselves at the detriment of the majority of the people, regardless of race. Racism is used as a tool to do it. Giving your child those drugs in elementary school is a part of it. You know, convincing young men through music and things like that they're supposed to be this gangster and this thug, and they don't even know what that word actually means. You know what I'm saying? And getting them to create a pipeline into the prison industrial complex is a part of it. Making sure that you're ignorant and don't understand civics is a part of it. Making you depressed is a part of it. Making you not aware of the laws is a part of it. Making you think that because somebody wrote something that you're supposed to bow down to it is a part of it. It's a holistic attempt to keep you weak and, like you said, to keep you a battery. None of these things are, mistakes at all. Not one of them. That's why I urge everyone, come to the classes in Springfield, especially come to first I want to thank y'all for bringing us out, number one. I want to thank Fred for coming there and giving this type of information, because a lot of people be scared. They be scared. Y'all start talking about this, they want to isolate it to, we said black, like I'm talking about, like Sabir just said, black ain't even a real, that's a statement. That's a phrase. I'm not talking about a race of people. So people get scared when they hear that. So I want to commend y'all for even doing this off top. But it's very imperative that people come out from Massachusetts. I'm going to leave. Y'all have to develop and foster relationships with the people that are in your community that know this information. Y'all need to be reaching out to Tayla to make sure that y'all she's not just saying it because she sounds cool on the radio. This is actually real. So we encourage everyone to come out and see how it's holistic and you've been tricked, especially the urban environment. And to my suburban and rural people, they know the game, but what they missing is they don't see that those attacks, are designed to, they trying to come for y'all too. Y'all just low on the totem pole in that sense because of population. But again, all of these things are very intricately interwoven. The people that are doing these things are not stupid people at all. Their resources and their reach is very far, but we can overcome that with love, information, knowledge, being on top of what we're supposed to be on top of, and stop being dependent. And the people of Massachusetts can start participating in that this weekend when they come down and we all put each other on that path and be accountable for each other.
Absolutely. So really quickly, what are we talking about? Black Guns Matter. We're currently on the line with Maj. We have Firearm Fred in the studio. If you have any questions as far as firearms are concerned or your LTC is concerned, we have two experts, an expert on the line and a Massachusetts expert in the studio. There's no reason for you not to come out this weekend. It is absolutely free and you don't even have to register. In Springfield, December 16th on Friday from 6:30 p.m. until 9 p.m. in Springfield, you can go out and see Maj and listen to Maj at 2 Bolin Way, Springfield, Mass. That is at the Marriott Hotel on 2 Bolin Way in Springfield, Mass. And that is on Friday from 6:30 p.m. until 9 p.m. Or you can come out on Saturday, and we'll be at the Lower Mills Lodge. This is, again, free, no registration required, December 17th from 3:30 p.m. until 6:30 p.m. at 1076 Washington Street. It's the Lower Mills Lodge, and it's free firearm safety and training, and you walk out with your certificate. You didn't sign up for anything. You didn't pay for anything. You walk out with your certificate. Don't think you can come at 6 and leave at 6:30 and get your certificate. Come at 3:30 to 6:30. Get your certificate. Link up with Fred. There will be other trainers. I don't like Fred. He got big muscles. If you don't like Fred, you can link up with another trainer. Get the knowledge, learn how to shoot so you can get your gun license. Really quickly on Facebook prior to taking these phone calls, Maj and Fred, we need a list of black-friendly ranges. The ranges I go to, white people look at me crazy the whole time, and I would really like somewhere where I feel comfortable. Latoya said, can you guys talk about the fact that firearm licenses are issued by municipalities, police departments that will identify the conditions that must be met before the firearms license can be issued? Lysandra said, we have to respect the movement. We need to be prepared. Raheem said, in Massachusetts, if you admit yourself not by force or by the courts, or otherwise against your will, it won't come up. So if you admit yourself, it won't come up as far as you not being able to get your firearm license. And we do have callers on the line, but I want you guys to address that when we come back from these callers as far as Latoya's question about the police municipalities issuing licenses in the state of Massachusetts. Maybe Fred, that's a little bit more towards your half, unless Maj, there's something that you want to chime in with. 617-282-0062. I know the phone lines are jammed, but keep calling, baby. We are taking calls. Good rising, caller, you're live.
Good rising, Queen. How are you?
I'm lovely, baby. How you feeling? How you doing?
I'm doing good, girl. I'm blessed, and I can't complain.
Talk to us.
I'm great. So I just have a question. For example, if I get my license to carry in the state of Massachusetts and I'm going to another state, am I able to travel with my gun, or can you have a license to carry in more than one state?
Maj, you want to hit on that?
No, I want Fred to do that.
Yes, you can travel with your gun. What you can do, there's reciprocities in different states, which you also have to make sure that your gun license is recognized in that state. And if it's not, you can't check out the state, because you can't get an out-of-state license where you're traveling to. If you're driving, in the law states that your guns have to be you have to be in your trunk, locked up, and your ammunition has to be separated. And as long as you're traveling to a state and where your license is recognized, then you're in good hands.
So, for instance, Massachusetts' sister states would be who?
Sister states.
Sister states meaning if I have my Massachusetts gun license, where else can I go that honors my Massachusetts state-of-the-art, need to go through hoops, ladders, and fire rings in order to receive? Shouldn't everybody honor it?
It should be that way. It should be just like a driver's license, but it's not that way. So there's a few states that honor Massachusetts.
Isn't Ohio one of them?
Ohio's one of them. Alaska, Alabama, Arkansas, Arizona, Iowa, Idaho, Indiana, Kansas, Montana, Kentucky.
Put it on your lip.
Kentucky, Michigan, Missouri, Mississippi, North Carolina.
So we have about 15 states that recognize. But if I'm going to Ohio from Massachusetts, I still have other states I have to pass through. So I have to get my gun license for every state?
So the federal law states as long as you're traveling through those states and your gun license is recognized in Ohio, then you're good to go.
So I don't need a gun license to go through New York or New Jersey or Philadelphia. I'm good as long as I go straight to Ohio and take my gun out of my trunk.
Exactly, as long as you're passing through.
Okay. All right, that's fair. Maj, you want to touch on that?
Yeah. One of our goals for 2017 is to get the hood in alignment with the bill that's being written right now to pass to be dropped on President-elect Trump's desk, which is national reciprocity. Fred has hit an excellent point, which is, we respect. I have a driver's license for whatever state that I live in, but if I drive through any other state, it's respected. So if that's a privilege, driving is a privilege. It's a commercial activity. If that's being respected, why isn't someone's right to defend their life and their human rights respected to the same extent? So one of our goals at BlackLivesMatter for 2017 is to get the hood informed with why it's very important that you should push towards the national reciprocity thing. And the other thing to that national reciprocity is that's all where we stopping at. That's the only thing we're pushing at as far as we want an ID.
There's 34 states that align with Massachusetts. Is that what you're saying, Raheem?
To no national ID system in that regard. So we're going to maintain that balance. And that'll be a great way to show that you can be informed from the hood to push for something that's good for you. And at the same time, not just go down that slippery slope and then go, well, you guys were okay with the national reciprocity card. Why don't you just take this national ID card or this chip? We're not doing that. So that's the key component. But national reciprocity for firearms, licensing to carry, I think would be an excellent thing.
So I can admit my ignorance, and the last time I heard reciprocity was when Lauryn Hill was singing it. So can one of you please break down reciprocity and how it applies to gun laws?
Okay, for example, if you have Fred just broke it down, but let's say if I have a license to carry in, let's use math. If I have a license to carry in, math, it's received or it's reciprocated. We respect it. South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Vermont, just a bunch of states, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Montana, Missouri, Mississippi, Michigan, Kentucky, blah, 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 blah. Those are states that respect and give reciprocity to the fact that you went through all of those loops and jumped through all of those hoops in crazy Massachusetts law to get your license to carry. So us as states, we reciprocate it and we respect your right to carry in our state. That's what reciprocity means. So when Lauren said it, why can't I get some reciprocity? What I'm giving to you, why can't you can I get it back? So it's the same. Your stamp is certified and they hood too, basically.
I got you. Callers, we have all the phone lines currently blowing up. I allowed time to get away from me. I didn't know that it was 6:53 a.m. This hour flew by. I do want to remind you that all of these questions that you have can and will be answered, whether you're in the Springfield area or whether you're in the Boston area. As far as Springfield is concerned, that is tomorrow. You want to come out tomorrow, and that will be at the Marriott Hotel 2 Bolin Way in Springfield, Mass. 01144. Maj will be there. Are you going, Fred, to Springfield?
I'll be in Connecticut.
Oh, you'll be in Connecticut. Well, tomorrow, Firearm Fred will not be in Springfield, but on Saturday, and remember that tomorrow is 6:30 p.m. until 9 p.m., December 16th in Springfield. I need you guys to show up and show out. I need you to get this knowledge. I need you to get all the wisdom, understanding, whatever it is that you need to get, and all you're getting. Get some understanding as far as Boston is concerned. Free firearm and safety training December 17th from 3:30 p.m. until 6:30 p.m. Please come out tomorrow at 1076 Washington Street, Lower Mills, and I'm sorry, not tomorrow, on Saturday. Come out on Saturday, Lower Mills Lodge, 1076 Washington Street in Lower Mills. Myself, Firearm Fred will be there. Maj will be there. All of your questions will be able to be answered. Maj, is there anything else that you want to discuss really quickly before we get up out of here?
No, just really quick. I want everybody that's coming out to support the trainers. I want them definitely to get with Fred in Boston. I want to thank you guys again for bringing us out, and women especially, pardon me there. That was an oversight. But just if anyone supports what we're doing, hit our GoFundMe page up. GoFundMe.com/BlackLivesMatter. No, we're not paid by the NRA, the USCC. We are all doing this off of you guys' donations and your,
Do you have to own a home or business to qualify for your gun license?
BigCartel.com/BlackLivesMatter. Even outside of that, that's important. But bigger than that, if you have questions about life, if you just want to talk, if you're going through something, if you just want to, your idiot, your baby father being kind of an idiot today, your baby mom being kind of aggressive. If you want to talk to me, hit me up. Call me on my phone, 267-273-2905.
Well, hold on, we're a little slow. You might have to give that to us 2 more times, slow-mo.
267-273-2905. If I don't pick up, it's just because I'm busy. It's not because I'm ducking. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. You want to tweet about something, DM about something. My social media is @Maj2Ray. That's Instagram and Twitter. Facebook is official Black Guns Matter _Maj2Ray. Let's talk. Sometimes you just need an ear. I'm here. I don't care if it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't really sleep that much. So again, we have to do this together. It's a holistic approach. I appreciate you guys for having us and bringing us up there. I look forward to seeing everybody there Friday and Saturday.
Thank you, Maj. Love and appreciate you. Hope you have an amazing day. Can't wait to see you on Saturday. Firearm Fred, how do we get in contact with you? How do we sign up for some training? We see you, Firearm Fred, on Facebook. We see you all the time. I'm at the range. How do we get with you at the range? And going back to Raheem's question about being in a comfortable place where people look like you, do you have any problems at the range that you attend or
No, I really don't have no problems with, at the range. I've been at that range for probably about 15 years. So what it is just if people looking at you uncomfortable, that's just how it is. Sorry, there is no black ranges in Massachusetts. But
Yet. We're going to speak that into existence.
There is no
black ranges in Massachusetts yet.
But just keep practicing, keep at it. It's one of those things where it's a skill, and you just got to keep going. And no matter what, whoever's looking at you funny, you're in there sharpening your skills. So just ignore everybody and go do what you got to take care of.
It's the hustle.
So yeah.
How do we call you, Fred? Come on.
Hit me up 617-293-1011. You can call me anytime. Schedule a class. You can also hit me up on my email at fredgary1@gmail.com. You can also hit me on Facebook at Firearm Fred. On Instagram, it's Firearm Fred.
You see how I named him? I'm so happy.
PF. So hit me up on any of my platforms. I'll be more than happy to help you and reach out.
I am TaylaAndre. This is Waking Up with TaylaAndre. We today had a beautiful conversation with Maj Toure out of Philly. Black Guns Matter. # Black Guns Matter. And of course, Firearm Fred was in the building. Please, all I want you to do is get some understanding and get your LTC. That's really what I'm trying to get you to get. As far as our sponsors are concerned, I want to give a huge shout out. Thank you, Faith. Thank you for all that you do. I have completely converted from big box business beauty products to Faith's Naturals products, from my soap, my deodorant, my shampoo, my conditioner, my Pum Pum wash, body scrub, lotions, oils, name it. She makes it all. She even has yoni eggs in different sizes. They come in large, medium, and small. You have to start out with a large, you work your way down to a medium, and then once you on small, you on Pum Pum Power. As far as this weekend is concerned, ZC Boston is going all the way in as far as Saturday is concerned. The Bad Santa with DJ Amaro. There's going to be bottle girls and people selling bottles for $300. I cannot entertain that nonsense. But if that's your cup of tea, then come out and spend $300 on a bottle of Hennessy with your boys. But I will be bartending, and they will be bottle girls, probably in Pum Pum shorts and everything else. Shout out to Amaro. I won't be doing it in Pum Pum shorts, but shout out to the women and the ladies, their beautiful selves that are. Minute by minute, hour by hour, know your story, you know your power. Shout out to Dr. Ron Walker. I love that quote and I will continue to use it. Lastly, I want you to come out and celebrate the TaylaAndre 4th annual cruise. We still in year 3, but I want to prepare for year 4. Paradise Island Cruise, the ultimate land and sea party experience. We're going to the Dominican Republic. We're going to the Bahamas. We're going to Half Moon Cay. And we're going to Turks and Caicos. And you don't need a damn passport. I said it once. Let me say it again. You don't need a passport. You don't need a passport. There are themed events. We have some guest DJs for 7 years in a row. Jada Kiss has been on the boat. It's an open bar, and we will be island hopping. Who else can say that? I'm going island hopping this weekend. But October 8th through the 14th, we're leaving from Fort Lauderdale. When we come back, that is when Florida's carnival takes place. So what y'all want to do? Want to be I can't wait. I'm so excited. I've never been to DR before, and now I'm going. And it's Fred's favorite little stomping ground. But it'll be my first time. Who want to break their virginity with me? Let's go, let's go, let's go. I want to give a huge shout out to Cos. I feel the faith. And I can't wait for Freaky Friday tomorrow. Y'all ready?
I feel it.
Your love is fading.
I feel it.
Gotta get flashing. Rich, where you
I
at?
can't wait to go.
Your love is
She
wanna be the plug, when you come back, where the fat boy stay. I told her, bring a couple girls, girl, rich, dumb, bullets, and bang. These girls really wanna get nasty, I don't know none of their names. Wanna drink, liquor, smoke good weed, but I'm gonna need a Gatorade. Concierge, downstairs, tripping about the music and the loud weed smoke. Sit down, 100 in the bottle, baby, you better not snitch, no. Live fast, enjoy every moment, cause just last year I was broke. Orange Gatorade, ain't my sobriety, while I'm giving out backstrokes. Round 1, round 2, round 3, no bull, you only get 2 piece, no bull, that's really all you want from me. Your girl, did you go and please company? Thick thighs, fat butts, slim waist, little bitty, but I'm on a boat face. Heard the kitty cat, but we're on a repeat. She wanna let us in the pool when I'm TV.
What?
They're gonna need a birth certificate. They don't have a passport. Well, who don't have a passport in life? This big age.
Who don't have passports?
That's the easiest thing to get. Like when people don't understand, it's easy. You go to the post office, fill out the paperwork, and give a picture of yourself, and they feel you. Get a passport.
Big hat there.
What do you need?
I give it to her, guarantee I mess up like fuck. She said she want me to taste her with my big lips, but if I do it, she be begging me to wife her. Baby girl, I put it down. I'ma go extra. Fly boy, you don't want your girl to get next to. I'll put a finger in her butt right now. I bet you she be begging me to pluck right now. Yeah, I'm nasty. Yeah, I'm ready for whatever, whether day or night. I lay the pipe and when I lay it, I'ma lay it right. She be wanting to put my clothes in the closet. I don't need love, girl, I need a deposit. She wanna lick me like I'm ice cream. You know, strawberry blonde, make her wanna. She ain't as innocent as she might seem. As soon as we leave the club, I'ma call her fade.
Yup, try baby, you know what it is? It's DJ Sus1, the feature presentation. Listen, make sure you wake up with TaylaAndre Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 a.m. on Big City 101.3 FM. Wake up with the Radio Rebel. Politics, news, conspiracies. Wake up your third eye with unorthodox conversations leading to universal consciousness. It's the type of stuff I'm into, alright? Make sure you tune in. Let's go.
Uh-oh.
You're listening to you.
Okay.
Hello? Good morning.
It's good rising.
All right, how's everything? You also realize that I'm also in the community too. Yeah. Oh, what's going on, brother? Did you get your license? There you go. Oh, where you going to get your gun at? You gotta go to Four Seasons. I'll be there later on today too. you need? What do you need? You want to do some practicing? Okay. All right. Let me know the trigger on it. Like, how's the trigger pull on that gun? All right. Well, listen. When you get it, call me up. I'll be at the range all day today. If you want to come down later on the day, if not, we can set up something for another day.
Six 617-293-1011. If you want to go ahead and get firearms.
All right. Yeah. Grab a box of practice ammo, and then let's go. And then come on. We gotta go break that baby in.
Yes, it does count for Boston.
All right.
You still need to be proficient
All right, see you later.
in your shot. So, Fred, really quickly, can you explain to people as far as this certificate is concerned? Yes, the certificate is for Boston, but...
The certificate is good for Boston, but Boston requires you to shoot, so you have to shoot afterwards. You have to set up an appointment with one of the instructors that are there.
Hold on.
Myself?
I'm biased. Call Fred. Don't call nobody else. I don't care if there's 17 different trainers there.
Set up something because you have to go out. Boston's going to require you. You just can't walk into Boston and hand them that certificate. They're going to want to make sure that you can shoot, and you have to make sure you can shoot. And you're proficient with a 38 special. So after you're getting a huge discount on the first end, but then you're going to have to pay on the other end for the live firing part.
And how much is live fire if they listen to TaylaAndre?
If they listen to TaylaAndre, you go to TaylaAndre special. You're going to get it for $100.
And usually everybody else has to pay
$150.
I got you $50. What was the other question that came up? Steady. Oh, about Dorchester. Why don't you go to Dorchester?
I don't go to Dorchester because Dorchester requires their requirements are so huge. That's why I don't hold classes there. And if I did classes in Dorchester, I would have to raise the price of classes because they charge me. So it's one of those things where I can't do it. I was working on something with them. Dorchester, you have they have a big, huge schedule. I'm still in the works with them right now, but it's just.
But you prefer?
I prefer Braintree. One, it's better hours anytime. 24-hour club anytime.
So if somebody want to do
a 9 o'clock.
Hold on. If I want to do a 12 a.m. to 2 a.m.
we can do it.
Right, are you serious?
That's why I'm trying to get this out and let everybody know we can do a class at any time.
Y'all want to do a 2 a.m. class? Right. Y'all going to be coming from ZC drunk and shit like, I want to shoot.
As long as you ain't been under their own influence, we can go do a class at any time. So that's what the best part about using Braintree. It's any time. So they don't, and nobody bothers me. I got it. I got the range. 24 hours. Good.
Y'all hear this? Right? So what's the oddest hour anybody ever, scheduled? You're like, damn, that's
like 3:30 in the morning. I had one person tell me 3:30 in the morning because they worked in the restaurant. So they was like, listen, when I get out, let's get.
Are you for real?
3:30 in the morning. We did it. We ended up I didn't get out of there until like 5:30, 6 o'clock. But it was a good class.
You go all the way in. Okay then. So y'all about to get your free certificate. There's no sign in. There's no sign up. There's no pay at the door. It is free to go. It is free to attend. And you get a free, how much is the certificate usually?
$170, $180.
$180 free in your certificate. And then you get $50 off if you go see Fred. $100 classes to learn your proficiency on how to pow. And why we always do that, Fred? Why we always really cocking it to the side and stuff?
TV ruins the mind.
I thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. How do we call you, Fred?
617-293-1011. Hit me up. Make an appointment. Or just email me.
Firearm Fred.
FredGary1@gmail.com.
What was I going to say? It's Firearm Fred as far as social media is concerned.
All across the board. Firearm Fred across the board on social media.
And we went ahead and changed your number. It's 617-293-1011.
1011.
Not
to the left.
I thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. I hope you guys have an amazing day. I can't make the class. I have to work. But if you were listening a few seconds ago, once you get off of work, Fred said he is willing to set up any type of schedule that suits you. So if 3 a.m. works for you, let's go at 3 a.m. If 2 a.m. works for you, he can make it then. So if you can't make it to the class on Saturday, they are having one tomorrow in Worcester. I know that's a little far, but I don't know how your schedule works. Maybe that works for you. Maybe it doesn't. Why I keep saying Worcester?
I don't know.
Springfield, not Worcester. And if that doesn't work, you can just contact Firearm Fred and set up whatever works best for you. Have a wonderful day, y'all. I feel the faith.